Hello and welcome to What It Is. Today feels so different than yesterday. I know it's partially because I finally got some sleep, but there is this quality and energy to the air and even to the light. And I just love the excitement and the extra energy of possibility that comes with days like this. And so I'm very excited to see what the cards have to offer today and what the runes have to offer. And my intention and my hope is that it serves your highest good and helps you move along the path in a way that is easier and more joyful. These attributes, the arcana of the tarot, offer us not so much the secrets of the universe as so much as what we need to know in order to be as fruitful as possible within our own journeys. And so I'm excited to get into this and see what we reveal and how it's going to help you along the path. And I read mind, body, and soul lines, past, present, and future. You can envision it like a tic-tac-toe board, if that helps. So in the past position of the mind line, we have Three of Cups. There is an energy of understanding how to have those moments of great joy. And when I say past, present, and future, understand that the past can be as much as years or generations before. It can be a couple years ago. It can be a couple hours ago. It could be a couple seconds ago. Time is an illusion. And so forward, moving forward as well, because time is a construct. And everything exists simultaneously within the quantum reality. So these are just aspects of our experience that we can look at a deeper level and help us uncover and unlock the ways that we can move in accordance with the laws of the universe and allow ourselves to materialize lives that we truly love. Because the reality is, as entrepreneurs and as seekers, we come to these places within ourselves where we feel so challenged that the challenge becomes an obstruction to us moving forward and creates this energetic, this emotionally charged energetic situation that then materializes our reality, because our reality is materialized through the signature of our energy and our emotions. And that's the spark, if you will. So you can consciously have the idea that you want to, say, build a multi-million-dollar business and have complete financial freedom and be the CEO and run your life, but you also want to have the relationships, and you also want to have the friendships, and you also want to have the freedom and the travel and the trappings of having this abundant life. But what happens when one starts to materialize in one area or the other, subconscious fears start shutting down and blocking off other areas. Let me give you an example. If I make this $1 million, what happens to my love life? What happens to my relationships? How am I going to make sure that my partner isn't taking advantage of my money or using me for my money, or isn't going to leave and abandon me because of my money or because of my success? Or how am I going to continue to be friends with old people, old situations? We have to let go of our old lives in order to bring the new into fruition on an emotional level. And one of the best ways to do that is to attune yourself to the emotional frequency of abundance and having a lot. So with the Three of Cups here, it shows that that is what is necessary. And most of us have experiences that we can draw from and then multiply. Times when we felt like we had enough, times when we felt like we had more than enough, tuning ourselves into remembering those experiences, and even taking old experiences where we felt like we didn't have enough and rewriting them and recreating them into these abundant, joyful experiences, so that we set ourselves free energetically to start to manifest from a different energetic state. Because you can plan it all out and structure it all out. We have the Emperor in the central position of the mind line. That discipline, that structure, that foundation that the Emperor provides, that energy of linear movement, of taking action, of consistency, of consistent growth. But what can happen when that energy becomes distorted is that it forgets to have the flow of the joy and the sensation of receiving, the Empress energy. That balance has to be there. Otherwise, one can become too rigid and too attached to the material outcome of what one is trying to do. Because the material outcome will not give you joy unless you've already taught yourself how to experience joy with and without your desire. If you can experience joy in the moment and understand how to give yourself that inner harmony and balance, Two of Cups in the future position in the reverse, feeling within before you expect to see it without. Trusting that as you feel more and more and more into that balance, and we can flip that card and transmute that energy into giving yourself that unconditional love and that unconditional freedom and that unconditional sense of worthiness that we are all seeking to attain through our goals and our desires. We are all really truly seeking the same thing at the end of the day. We want connection. We want to feel unified within ourselves, and therefore with the divine. And when we allow ourselves to ground into our foundation of discipline, we give ourselves that safe place to expand and to harmonize those energies. If your boundaries are so intentional, because boundaries shouldn't be rigid. They shouldn't be impenetrable. They shouldn't be like mountains that you can't move out of the way, because we need to live through our hearts in order to be truly authentic to who we are. Not saving ourselves, not our ego saving us from uncomfortable situations or from our fear keeping us from being fully expressed in all areas. Feeling free to love and be loved is one of the highest frequency activities you can engage in. Yes, it's fine to want lots of money because of what you can do with the money, how much love you can give with the money. Because the money itself will not love you back. You can't cuddle money. You can try, but it's not going to cuddle you back. So not even having the money be the goal, the money is the effect of the goal. The goal is to help heal the world. The goal is to add more beauty. The goal is to add more joy, not only to your life, but to the lives around you. Perfectly reiterated by the Princess of Wands in the body position in the past position of the body line, teaching the body to experience more joy, more pleasure, more abundance. If you want to have an abundant life, you can't live through scarcity. You must give yourself the love you wish to receive. Give yourself the experiences you wish to receive. When you're trying to create a very abundant and free life, but you're constantly telling yourself, oh, I can't afford that. Oh, that's going to cost too much money. Oh, that's too expensive. You're suppressing your energy, and you're taking away from your belief in the inevitability on a cellular level of the fruition of your desires. You're subconsciously telling yourself you can't actually manifest that, or you can't feel safe or abundant and full until you actually see the physical representation. But that's backwards. You have to have the belief first, and then the materialization happens. Cause and effect, not the other way around. And with the Six of Cups in reverse in the alignment line, that is foundational. Because that sense of happiness and that sense of peace comes from allowing oneself to be content. Not complacent, content. Contentment is the realization that I am going to allow joy and happiness to bubble up from within. That is going to be my dominant frequency, that is going to be the state that I try to move forward towards and move forwards through that state of happiness. So when we transmute that, all those doubts and fears become energy, become lightness. We allow ourselves to bubble up, to effervesce. It's like adding kefir water to your diet. It's living. It's alive. It's water that is enlivened by the fermentation. So it bubbles up. It adds effervescence and lightness to your being. And this even goes into really what we put into our bodies at a cellular level. The thoughts we're speaking, the words we're saying, the water we're drinking, the food we're eating, the light we're getting, the experience we're having. How much are we moving in joy? How much are we moving and allowing our bodies to be free, to dance, to play, to rejoice, and to continuously understand that we have these resources available to us, the King of Cups in the future position, returning to the tree of knowledge. The trees and nature are there to help us recalibrate. The earth realigns you, helps you transmute energy. Trees realign you with your ancestry, helping you get in touch with your ancestors and with your genealogy, with your genetic coding. They allow us to speak to other parts of our humanity on an intuitive level, without words. Because they move through impulse and they move through energy and they communicate through energy. So they can communicate with you when you allow yourself to return to them with reverence. To allow them as portals to fuse with your energy and allow you to become a portal. They weren't lying in the avatar when people were connecting their consciousness to the tree, to Ewa. That literally is how it works. When you put yourself in contact with the trees, you put yourself in contact with a communication system, a grid that spreads out underneath the ground through their roots. They're communicating with all the other trees, with the mycelium. It's an information network. Just like when you tune into higher consciousness, when you tap into universal consciousness, you're communicating with everyone and everything at the same time. And we're doing this whether we choose to be conscious of it or not. So the King of Cups teaches us to have that sense of reverence for the energetic state that we keep ourselves in. And right under the Princess of Wands, we have the Prince of Wands, Krishna. Same thing. Keeping that energetic quality of joy. This entire reading is about adding joy and love and light back into your life. Krishna leads us into that sense of magnetism because the joy is coming from within. That brightness, that effervescent quality is present in his being, in the past position of the spirit line. This is the essential quality that must be added in to have this full life that feels like play, that feels like a rich tapestry. Not forgetting the great mystery, not forgetting the reverence, the Princess of Cups in the reverse position. Saint Brigid, who brought souls back to the Stonehenge, who brought people back to that sense of reverence for the divine and for the sacred rites that keep us in the cyclical nature of the universe, in flow with it, able to move our energy in sync, understanding the ebb and flow, allowing ourselves to tap into knowledge that is so much greater and so much older than we are. But it's all timeless and it's all universal and it's all happening at the same time. But we need that sense of connection, that place, that sacred place to go back to re-find ourselves, to realign. Because we're all just learning on this journey. If someone ever comes to you and says they have it all figured out and they have the key, please question them. And then please question your own discernment, because that is coming from a place of lack. Not knowing that everything is within. Your interpretation, how you get back to the root of who you are in yourself, comes through these practices that connect us to the divine. So yes, people can offer you things, but if you get too attached to looking outside of yourself for the answer, it becomes too confusing. It's too much energy and it creates conflict, because you're not necessarily, we have conflict, the Seven of Wands being thrown back at us in the reverse position, coming back at us because there is a sense of confusion. There's too much information, not tuning in to oneself and allowing the information to bubble up from there, listening to that quiet voice. And so if we transmute that energy, it starts to move away from us. It starts to move towards the light. It's taking that chaos and it's deciphering the chaos and allowing it to dissipate. Not forcing it to do anything, but allowing it to dissipate, guiding it and creating the structure, holding the line. This is what I will and I will not tolerate in my life and my experience. And allowing the rest to just burn away. It's okay. Keeping a light touch is necessary. We have 10 of Pentacles in reverse, 9 of Pentacles, in reverse, material gain. In the position of you, that sense of blocking your own abundance on a physical level, because you're unwilling to discipline your intentions and your emotions and your mind enough to hold the frequency and the state of happiness and joy and abundance for long enough for it to actually materialize on a long-term basis. It's like you can get it and then it collapses. You get a little bit more and then you sabotage. Flipping that around, transmuting that energy, shows the alignment of the 4 stones on either side, the 8 pentacles, in alignment, and the central one in the beginning, in the middle. Not losing sight of the greater vision, not aligning with the goal for the money, doing it for the work, understanding that the result of the work is the money. But it cannot be the attachment. We have the Hanged Man in the significator position. It cannot be the reason, because money in and of itself is empty. It's the effect. It's what it gets you. The work of loving the world returns that love to you. And when we work together in community with others, in community with ourselves, in community and co-creation with the universe, for the sake of the doing. Being so clear about who we are being in the process. What we will and will not tolerate from others and from ourselves. Holding our own correct conduct, self-mastery, self-discipline. Overrides any information you can get from outside of yourself. If you need a guru to keep you disciplined, you don't have self-discipline. It comes from within. Yes, people can help guide you on this path, but to create a dependency upon them is declaring yourself unworthy. When you just trust in your worth, all else falls into place effortlessly. And I have no doubt that the runes are going to continue to confirm this story, because this is how it works. They always tell the story better together. And this time we have Fehu in reverse. In the first position, Fehu deals with possessions. It is depicted as cattle. Abundance, cattle is traded back and forth as a means of financial abundance. And so Fehu deals with possessions, material goods, material gain, the Nine of Stones, nourishment. And it asks, so I read a bit out of the Book of Runes as well, because I'm still learning them, and because Richard Blum, who wrote this book, gives such a beautiful explanation that I just feel honored to be able to share it more than I feel like I could improve upon it or even interpret it. So it goes back to that principle, as above, so below. It calls for a deep probing into the meaning of profit and gain in your life. Look with care to know whether it is wealth and possessions you require for your well-being, or rather self-rule and the growth of will. Another concern of Fehu, so it's in reverse, again showing that frustration, that sense of holding oneself back that the reversal of the Nine of Stones had. That wide range of dispossession, that sense of being adrift. From the trivial situations to the most impactful. You're falling short on your efforts. You're reaching out and you miss. You get on the wrong train. You have to sit helplessly by and watch what you've gained start to dwindle away. But this is asking you to just observe what is happening, to examine the negative events from an open perspective, asking yourself, what lesson can I learn from this? Even if there's an occasion for joy, not to be seduced into mindless joylessness, the Prince of Wands, the overindulgence, the numbing effect that comes when one just chases pleasure and doesn't understand that there is an ebb and flow to everything, and you can't lean too hard in any one direction or you create distortion. Reverse Fehu indicates that doubtful situations are abundant and come in many forms and guises. You are being put in touch with the shadow side of possessions, yet all of this is part of the coming to be and the passing away, and it is not in that which abides. In dealing with the shadow side of Fehu, you have an opportunity to recognize where your true nourishment lies, in that sense of pure happiness, which is the contentment of just being in communication with the universe. And we have Wonjo in the past position, that joy, that light, that frequency of feeling so good, that everything just happens so good, so well. The way that you feel just bubbles up and is just reflected back to you, because the universe acts as a mirror. And allowing yourself to let those old things collapse. Hagalaz. The disruptor, letting everything collapse so that you can rebuild anew with that sense of discipline and that renewed joy. And I'm going to call myself out here. I totally misread this Seven of Wands as conflict, but it's courage. It's the courage to turn your situation around. It's the courage to believe in the new stories, to hold the belief and the certainty in the new stories, even if you haven't seen the materialization of them yet. of your dreams. Believing that all situations can be transformed and transmuted. With Ingus in the basis of the rune reading. That sense of transformation, new beginnings, starting over. Bubbling up from a sense of joy. Fertility. Seeding with intuition as to what will serve your highest good the best. And then seeding that into your consciousness and putting yourself around people who will continuously do that for you as well. Because this rune is showing that you have the energy and you have the power to deliver a new life to yourself. This is the birth process, and you have to trust the process. And birth is painful. You have to undergo the removal of all the resistance that you have to the life you desire. And so you're being asked to free yourself, to give yourself the gift of that inner peace. Gabo, in the challenge position. How do you give yourself the experience now that you wish to have in your most desired reality? If you imagine it and give it to yourself in all the areas of your life. This counsel applies on all levels, in love relationships and business affairs and partnering of every kind. It is particularly appropriate when entering into partnership with what some call your higher self. It's the interplay between the consciousness and the unconsciousness of us. But it can only be when each individual maintains its individual identity, being in the world but not of the world. Not becoming so attached, not making the work mean you are X, Y, and Z, not making the relationship mean X, Y, and Z about you, not making your circumstances mean anything, just observing and awareness. How can I grow? How can I learn? How can I change? We have Jera in the best outcome, talking about that change, that lightness, that light touch, that ability to move and flow through life, and understanding that there is a season to everything, and the seeds that you're planting now will come to fruition. And your belief is the fertilization, what holds the energy with the seeds and helps you keep the intention alive. You have to continuously do it. You can't just plant seeds in a garden and not tend them and expect them to grow to their fullest potential. You water them, you mulch them, you weed them. We have to do the same with our thoughts, with our minds. We water our minds with good thoughts and good information. We feed our bodies with good food and good exercise and good sunshine and good air and good nature. We fuel our spirit with connection, with practices, with disciplines, with awareness. And then we use that sense of purity, that cleanliness in our imagination, where we've brought ourselves back to our most clear state. And then we start to create. Well, if I'm in this really clear state of contentment and at oneness and at peace with everything, now what do I want to create? Because now I don't need anything to prove my worth. I already know I'm worthy. So how do I feel more joyful? How do I feel more fulfilled? How do I feel more connected? Because from that place of fulfillment and connectedness, all else flows. And so we're right at that time. And I feel like this is a good place to leave it. Because now it's your turn. Now it's your turn to take what you've heard today and to use what resonates to help you move forward and to leave the rest behind. And understand that if you're here as a seeker and as a visionary entrepreneur, you are here in the right time, and you are here because we aligned somehow within the whole energetic field. And that we're all connected. And so it is imperative that each one of us hold the highest frequency that we possibly can, because that's what changes the frequency of the world and the planet and the universe. And so if you have an interest to take this journey a little bit more solo and have some materials and some resources that you can use to help fortify yourself on this journey, I have created the Art of Conscious Creation. It is an 11-day experience that I designed to help you align with the highest frequency and to feel the best on a daily basis, to reconnect to nature, to reconnect to yourself, to use these mysteries to help you understand the great mystery, or to just maneuver with the great mystery, right? To flow with it, not be fighting against it. And so if you'd like to check that out, the link for it is below in the description box. And I'm grateful that you found me and that I'm finding you, and that we get to grow together as a community and help give birth to this new way of being, because we're all in this together and we're all in this co-creation experience. So I'm so grateful to have met you along the path, and I look forward to seeing you on down the road. And thank you for being here. Much love.